You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Almost Human After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Almost Human After Show.
Hey there, Almost Human fans. It's 2014. You know what time it is. It's time for Almost Human Season 1, Episode 7. I am Matt Lieberman. We're talking about an episode called Simon Says. On the panel, as always, we got the wonderful Miss Megan Salinas.
Hey, everybody.
The fantastic Mr. Ryan Hooks.
Hey, Ryan Hooks here.
And the brilliant Mr. Zach Wilson.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yes, we're listening to a little Crystal Method. They do all the music on Almost Human, just jamming out just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, and then it's over. It's over just as it began. So welcome back, everybody. I'm so glad that we still have we have more of the show to talk about. We've only seen 7 episodes. That means we've got at least 6 left. We still don't know anything about the future of the show, whether or not it was ever intended to get a back 9, if it might just go the Sleepy Hollow route and do 13 episodes a year, get a second season. Obviously, I'd love either version. Actually, it's kind of hard, and maybe we'll talk about this a little later in the program. You know, what kind of show structurally would you want this to be? But we got a great episode, which, if we're going back to our old what episode are we actually watching scorecard, because the show's been airing out of order, I'm pretty sure, I would say 99% sure, that this is actually episode 108, because it references Dorian getting his own place, which was something that was originally mentioned in the actual episode 107, Blood Brothers,
right,
which aired here as episode 105.
I believe I am following.
That's too much math.
If you check the math, it does check out. So we still haven't seen episode 2 or episode 4. The last time the show aired, we saw episode 3, and it was actually a very, very good episode. We had 2 Dorians. This episode, we get kind of Jigsaw on crack.
In this week,
Jigsaw.
in Almost Human does Hollywood blockbusters, we have Saw.
Ready to play.
Yeah, but it was Saw, but in the public forum, like it's also a riff on how we consume pop culture and blood sport and gladiators, and is this eventually what reality television will become? Like we've all seen the whether it's The Running Man or The Hunger Games, or even you go back to the movie Network in the 1970s, where you have this enterprising career-driven executive showing what would become reality television.
While we're on the subject of movies, did anybody see the movie Untraceable? It came out like 2008. Not a lot of people saw it that I know of.
Just you.
Yeah, apparently none of us
apparently
did.
just me.
How was it?
It was basically about a serial killer who would put his murders on the internet, and the more viewers, he would put them in like Jigsaw type situations, only there wasn't really a way for them to get out of it. It was just if the more viewers he got, like the trap would, like it was
the worse it would get.
The worse it would get until the person died. And
it's
I think,
like viral marketing when they showed the first picture of the Joker. Everyone had to keep clicking, and then we finally got it. It's like that, except someone dies gruesomely.
like
But people are gonna keep clicking, and that's what this episode goes into.
Yeah.
It's dark, but it's a train wreck. You can't look away.
Exactly.
What are the odds we're going to put something on the internet?
One of the comments,
he said in an internet show.
one of the comments on when going through was things like I can't look away, I can't stop watching.
But even worse, it was like, ha ha, can't stop watching.
Kill those pigs.
Yeah.
Cows suck.
do another one, encore.
I mean, you had the blend of, you had people like, this is definitely a hoax, this is not real, I can't believe it, that you're faking it. And then the people who are just game, they're like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have the internet, you're going to have your share of sick freaks. But you look at the future that this show is positing, and I would say that morale is down to the point where people don't care as much about the taking of human life. Like, it seems to happen more often, and it seems to happen in far more gruesome, uncontrollable ways. There's a certain lack of hope in the Almost Human universe because law enforcement and the side of right is so clearly outmatched.
400%.
Yeah. 400%. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about these big issues later. I wanted to start, now that we're already 5 minutes in, talking about Dorian and Kennex, catching up with them. So we had our kind of flashback episode last time. Now we're jumping back into the thick of things with their relationship. And we have a detective douchebag comment
Right off the bat.
lecturing everybody about their energy use. There have been rolling blackouts, so they're using auxiliary power. Lord, what's happening to me? I have 2 more shows
Solar
tonight.
flares,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So they don't have enough energy to go around, and that comes down to a charging order for the androids, and all the MXs get priority charging over the 1 DRN. And of course, Dorian is PO'd about this. You know, it's yet another in a androids and DRN versus MXs as allegories for race kind of things that we've seen this season. You know, how did you guys feel about this?
I mean, it was very interesting, especially just the mood swings coming into it. Like the fact that he's low on power, very much is the way we would behave if we lose sleep.
Or when
hungry.
you're starving, yeah. It was very, very cool, and I thought it was just so funny to see him as kind of an emotional, not an emotional wreck, but just ping-ponging all over the place. It's like bipolar disorder.
And it was very kind of relatable because, you know, I'm sure we're all like overworked. And so when he's getting charged up at Rudy's, they equate it to getting a shot of espresso. And
Or
after
whiskey.
that, he's kind of like loopy. And he's like, yeah, when Kennex is like, oh, you two hug it out. You know, he actually goes in for a hug.
Yeah.
So loopy Dorian was absolutely one of the most
actually
entertaining things I've ever seen.
It reminds me of how I feel when my cell phone is dying. It's like, no, 11%, 10%, 4%.
But now you can see it from your cell phone's perspective, where they're valiantly trying to get you that
I'm turning the
Domino's.
screen power down and I'm
Yeah.
muting it and all that stuff. No, but I actually was hoping, again, as I've said before, to see more of that. The reason the DRNs got decommissioned. I saw, I was like, oh, is this going to be it? Are they going to finally show him doing something overly emotional? Which, I mean, you know, punching Captain D-Bag in the face was a good start, but
Yeah.
Well, that goes into it. I mean, if just losing power can be enough to hit your superior, like a superior officer working at the precinct,
not really
imagine
superior.
if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Well, and they teased it a little bit because I think there was a line where
he
somebody
asked
was
him.
like, "Is this one of the reasons why they were commissioned?" And they were like,
He's
"Oh
like,
no!"
"No, it was way
So
worse
they
than this."
teased us with it.
Well, you got to think about this, right? And we got faced with it this week. You know, if Dorian and all androids are always aware of their current charging level, you know, and it's not like they can go to a 24-hour charging place and plug in. Like, you need special technology for it. You know, it's probably very expensive. He can't just eat a banana and take a nap. The fact is, androids are faced with their mortality at all times, and it's a ticking clock. It's a number that always is counting down. Versus, you know, we just, you know, are inclined to take care of ourselves to a certain degree, and we don't know when eventually we'll punch our ticket. He has a very, very firm idea of how long it will be before the lights go out and they may never come back on.
And if he loses power, there's no telling when he's going to be woken up again.
Exactly. So of course he's emotional. Of course he's loopy. You know, who wouldn't be under such extreme circumstances? Which again, I think speaks to his ability and his dedication as a cop. Because to be able to deal with these bombs, to not set them off, and to get this woman free, it requires a lot of confidence, a lot of concentration. And, you know, it's pretty amazing that he was able to pull it off.
But we see that he lost that too. In the second victim, he was like, get the shield ready, and there was like a minute and a half left on the bomb because he didn't think he was going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
He was kind of blurring out, and they were showing his view, and he couldn't find the wires, and his hands were shaking. And
Yeah, it was just about a minute left.
And as the episode goes on, we start to see more side effects. As he drops his voice, he starts to, like, he nods off in the car at one point.
His eyes flick different colors.
yeah, it was one side.
His desktop sort of changed screensavers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, he went to screensaver instead of just the backdrop. But here's the thing, though. He feels like he makes a note of this. He's like, I feel like I finally turned a corner with my colleagues. They're starting to treat me with some level of respect. You know, he's fighting this uphill battle. He doesn't want to appear weak at this really crucial time. You know, he doesn't have enough power to save Kennex, but he goes anyway. You know, it's not in his nature to back down from things, and he's driven. You know, he wants to be taken seriously as a cop. It's not going to happen if he does. He feels if he doesn't, you know, put himself in harm's way.
Yeah, and Detective D-Bag Detective Paul finally shows him some respect.
Fine, Detective Paul.
Well, he shows him some respect. For this moment, he gets a name.
Yeah. All right.
And it's
for now.
to his struggle, like
Paulie, where are we going tonight? Let's roll tonight, Paulie.
But yeah, he's trying to get some level of respect, and it's comparing him then back to being human, because he makes a decision at the end.
Yeah.
To go forward, even though he knows he might not make it, but that's a very cop decision. Like, I may die doing this mission, but I'm going to do it anyway. You know, so that's a human decision that he made, even though that it could have ended badly for him.
Yeah, and if he had, like, if power, like, I don't know if you guys ever use your phone and it looks like it has more battery charge than it actually has, and then all of a sudden it drops to 1 bar. Like, if he had used more juice than he was expecting and run out of juice, like, scaling up the building, I don't know how sturdy DRNs are. Like, after a couple story fall, like, it might have been lights out for good.
A couple broken legs, that's fine.
We know he can get shot. We don't know how many stories he can fall.
Wait, can I just bring something up? So at the top of the episode, Detective Paul, fine, we'll give him his name.
No, just for that moment. We can
Okay.
still call him Detective Deeb.
All right, Detective Deeb makes a point to tell Kennex, you know, all android charging is going to be cut down, including you, Kennex, your leg. And the whole time, I thought that his leg was going to give out at some point in this episode. It seemed like a Chekhov's gun that just never got capitalized
Actually,
on.
now that you bring that
MacGuffin.
up, which leg was handcuffed to the bench?
It was totally it was
his fake
totally his fake leg.
Yeah, it was.
He
It was
should have
his
just
leg.
I mean,
cut it off.
Granted, he...
Oh, good call on that. Applause.
I mean, granted, I don't think he would have been able to get very far, but he would have gotten farther.
Yeah,
We could have gotten to the screwdriver
Well,
at
and
least.
the guy still had the
Or at the very
remote
least, the
detonator,
coin.
so if nothing else, if the guy was like, oh, actually, that isn't working.
No, you're right. You're right. He would have set off the bomb if he had taken the leg off, and that is why he didn't take the leg off. Okay,
Sure.
everyone.
That's what
We are
Fox
not
is saying.
trashing this show. We love this show. We are coming up with the reasons why things work. Okay.
That was why he was able to reach the key, because his leg extended just enough. You know,
Well,
a human
why
leg wouldn't
can't
stretch
he
that
have
far.
some Inspector Gadget type stuff going on with his leg? That would be exceedingly helpful.
That would be exceedingly helpful, or at the very least, to be a misanthropic cop without a hidden flask in his leg. You know what I
Hollow
mean?
bootleg that he drinks out of.
Yeah.
It does feel like a missed opportunity. All the things you could put in a robotic leg. It doesn't need all those muscle and tendons.
Right? At the very least, it should be a thermos for soup.
You keep a knife and a gun in there.
Yeah.
That's helpful.
We know how he likes his coffee.
Spares are always
Yeah,
great.
exactly. Yeah, why does he need Dorian to make his coffee? He should be able to make espresso with his leg. Give me a double ristretto, please, left ankle.
Don't forget the cream.
More steamed milk. Okay.
And bring it back.
Yes. So another big development in this episode. Dorian finally gets a place. We could call this episode "Dorian Moves Out" or "Dorian's Big Day Out." And
Would you say peanut butter and jelly are just two foods?
I mean,
No, they're a sandwich.
No,
Yes,
they're a sandwich.
absolutely.
They're better to get, like, he's so excited.
I loved
Rudy.
that.
I love. Sorry, go ahead.
When Rudy started talking, I was just thinking to myself, because we're the 3 best friends
That anyone could have. I know. Well, you think back to that episode where he went undercover and he got to go out drinking with them, and I'm sure that was like the highlight of his year. He's not a very social dude.
And now having Dorian as a roommate, he's like, oh, we're going to go out and party. And
And
we're
what
gonna hit
happens in the
town.
lab stays in the lab.
I have more questions. So he lives in his lab?
Yeah. No, his lab is his office and home. There are very few people who are as skilled or as agoraphobic as him.
Well,
So
plus-
he has special job perks.
dedicated.
Plus, and if the police you know, if the police pay for the, you know, the rent for the building, then, you know, you don't have to go out and find your own apartment. You don't have to worry about rent.
It just seems against protocol.
It's just more questions like, where is this lab and what does Rudy do? Like, he lives in his lab. He has a ton of like very, very expensive police equipment in his home.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions that you don't want to know
He's the
answer
on-call police science doohickey whatever.
Fix a thingamabobber guy.
Yeah.
Official title, Fix It Thingamabobber Guy.
Oh, I liked official science
you are
thingy
in.
doohickey
You're
whatever.
the tech guy.
Yeah, he's a tech guy. Okay. Really quickly, I just want to talk to the folks at home about iTunes. Folks, thank you so much for listening to this show. We love your support. We love doing this show. We don't get paid to do it. We do it out of the kindness of our hearts because we love Almost Human. We love talking about it. We love talking with you about it specifically. It's a free podcast, AfterBuzz TV. We put out 60 plus shows a week, which is insanity if you think about it.
So many shows.
And they're all free podcasts. You could spend all your time from now until however long it takes to get through over 5,000 podcast episodes to listen to all the AfterBuzz TV content for free, and you could be entertained for free for, I don't know, let's say a year. I'm not entirely sure how much, because it's that wealth of content is so large. I'm losing my words talking about it. But here's the thing, folks. You get this show for free. What could you do to help us out? If you're feeling in a generous mood, you're feeling in a giving mood, you want to give back to us for giving you so much joy, what could you do? Go to iTunes, slap the show with a 5-star rating. Let us know how much you like it, what could be changed, what could be different, who on the panel has the best hair, who on the panel has your favorite opinions.
The lovely coif right there by Zach Wilson.
What do you most want to see happen in season 2? We have 6 episodes left to break it all down for you, and we would love it if you would support us so that we can continue to support you with our thoughts and theories on Almost Human.
And keep in mind, helping us out is also free.
It's true. It doesn't cost you a dime, and it makes us super happy, and you get shout-outs on the air.
It really makes our day when we hear from anybody.
Yeah.
Hit us up on the Twitter, on the YouTube.
On the Twitter.
Yeah.
Post it on the internet.
Yeah, Almost
love
Human
it.
TF always does like Follow Friday with
Every
the 4
week.
of us.
Which is
Yes,
so
thank you.
sweet.
Thanks,
cool
at Almost
shout-out.
Human TF.
Yeah, those guys are rad. Everyone on the YouTube is rad. You rock. Go you. Okay, we got way more to cover. We got this whole bomb plot. We have the entertainment factor. We have the evolution of media and how it's going to destroy us.
Like there was any question?
Yeah. I just want to take a quick second. I love doing this show with you guys because I don't think I have another after show, even like these big prestige dramas where we get into these very big topics. I feel like it's a very smart show. Almost Human is a very smart show, and then by extension, this gets to be kind of a smarter show. And I'm really, really happy that we get to do that. So with this episode, we have the evolution of blood sport and kind of trash TV and, shock porn and all this stuff. Like when reality TV first came along, there were super sensationalistic shows and people were tuning in for carnage. They were tuning in to see people get into train wrecks. It's one of the main drivers of why people still watch reality, I think, in the first place. But I just remember Temptation Island, and it was like, wow, 20 couples are going to go onto an island specifically to get broken up and watch their partners sleep with other people. Is that a thing?
Well, do you remember Fox actually had a reality TV show way back in the day called Murder in Small Town X, which was basically like a murder mystery reality show.
Man. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, there was Who Done It this year, but that was like obviously staged. But the fact is, where is the line and when does it get crossed? So we have this guy, Simon, who he's been rejected all his life because he's creepy and he's a loner and he smiles super weird and he loves his audience. He loves support. He needs it. It's the only thing that he's got,
He
really.
needs the reassurance.
Yeah.
Simon, who I couldn't I had to look it up to be sure, but it's David Dastmalchian, who I recognized as the Joker's lackey in The Dark Knight.
Yes, that is who it was.
It was bugging me, so I had to look it up.
Yeah, the one that Harvey Dent corners in the sewers and he puts the gun to his head.
Yeah.
And he's crazy, and they said he's already crazy. What are you doing?
Well, he's really good at playing crazy, guys.
Yeah, dude
Good for him.
He's a solid crazy guy. He's our go-to nut. And he did a great job in this episode. So we've got this guy, Felix Gaeta, first of all, from Battlestar Galactica, is our first victim. And I know, and I was like, wow, they're gonna get him and kill him off 15 minutes in? What gall! What nuts on these showrunners!
But he was intense. I mean, then he caught you by surprise when he blew up, and that's what made it strong.
It
his
made
face,
it really, really
oh my
strong.
God, his face was...
Oh, he's a brilliant actor. He's a wonderful actor. And like we got to see his whole journey and you know, hear his wife's voice, and we had more attachment to him, I think, than
At the end, right before it blows up and he says, "I love it," and then boom.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, what would you do if you were in that situation and you wake up and there's a bomb around your neck? You know, you panic. Or if you're him, you follow the instructions. Hopefully you get out of it. But he was never going to be able to get out alive.
Yeah.
Brings me to my first point. Don't fully open your window for homeless people that clean your window.
Well, also, don't split off from your android partner when you've obviously pissed off the bomber. Hey, someone's got something that they want to show you over here. I don't have any specifics about it, and it's not someone you've ever met before, but he's over here when you want to talk to him.
Get details, Kennex.
Get details, Kennex. What are you doing? You've been doing this long enough that you should be more suspicious. I was weeping to the television. Kennex.
It was.
Oh, poor Kennex. But
and you could actually see the look of annoyance on his face when he realized what it was. He was like, god damn it.
I'm smarter than this. I am smarter than this.
And I'm out.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed in myself.
That hurts.
Yeah.
I'm a little mad.
Yeah. And then he wakes up on the park bench. Simon's got very good attention to detail. He leaves him with a little bottle in a brown paper bag so nobody bothers him because he looks drunk.
It's
Got
true.
that coat around the collar.
Yeah, he's got the coat around the collar. He's not allowed to tell anyone about the bomb. It's a whole new situation where he's directly... It felt a lot like Phone Booth, the Joel Schumacher movie. You know, where he's... he can't move. Only he can disarm it. No one can help him, or the dude will blow it up. And he's up on this tower looking at him. And he's trying to talk him down and also buy himself a little more time while he undoes this thing. And people are just going bananas on the web watching this thing. He's obviously the star. The ratings on his little webcast spiked every time that Kennex came on screen. So obviously people saw something in him.
Well, apparently he does as well, because he has this heart-to-heart moment with him talking about his background and his past as... You know, when I was a cop and got kicked out, and then you were a cop and got kicked out, but they let you back in, and you got your second chance, and
yeah, those
some
black
resentment.
marks follow you forever.
Right.
It's true. But obviously, we know the difference between Kennex and Simon is that Simon actively wants to hurt people and kill people, and Kennex is just, you know, a little mixed up
He's
and
rough
angry.
around the edges.
Yeah,
He's also
rough.
on a dating site.
Yeah. He was on a dating site, and I loved the production design. It just says Simon's dating profile at the top of the screen. That is the name of the website. Is Simon's dating profile.com.
Sign up today.
This episode's basically a big cautionary tale about online dating.
Yeah. Oh, this is basically, it's their version of the Craigslist killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except in this case, it's the Simon's online dating profile killer. But also, I mean, that's mean to leave in the middle of a date, even if he is creepy. You should at least just like explain why. You don't just leave while they're away. I don't know.
That's why you have a friend call you with an emergency.
No! Honesty! Honesty is the best
Honestly,
policy.
though, I don't think that necessarily
Honestly. Yes.
I don't think that would have been good in this situation. The guy was crazy.
I guess that's
Nothing
true.
she told
You
him,
live in a
any sort of
delusional world.
rejection would have still put her in that same situation. And guys, FYI, putting a girl in a death trap is not going to do wonders for those numbers on your dating profile. Just saying.
It's true.
And well, the comments lit up at that point, like, you're a loser. She's way too hot for you.
Yeah. You suck, Simon.
Hashtag swole.
At which point he should have been like, you know what? These online commenters are so fickle. I should restart my life. Yeah.
I should better myself.
Yeah. I mean, even
Go to
like
college.
Yeah. he can build bombs. He could maybe even build androids. It's a very lucrative profession. Look where Rudy lives.
There's only one person doing it.
Yeah, there's only one person in the whole city who knows how to build an android and also all the other science. I want there to be an episode where we meet Rudy's counterpart at another precinct and they have just like a
Tension.
just like a bitchy tete-a-tete.
Or a hot lady Rudy.
Oh, hot lady Rudy, and he's too nervous to talk to her, but she so totally likes him.
And she's played by Felicia Day.
Aww.
That's how I would write it.
I would watch that.
I would watch that
anyway.
too. It's called season 5 of Eureka.
Yeah, I totally stole it.
Okay, let's we can get back into this bomb plot. Again, another episode of the week. No in Syndicate stuff for the 6th episode in a row. J.H. Wyman said that at this point in the season, you can't really air any of the episodes out of order. They need to be aired in order. So I have to hope that we're going to build on arc. And I assume that the reason why that started with this episode is, Dorian moves out of the police station.
Well, not to delve too deep into predictions already, but do you think maybe what happened in the 2nd episode was maybe, I don't want to say closure within Syndicate, but maybe something that put a temporary bookmark in it? Like they find a specific group of in Syndicate and put them away, but, the larger group is still out there.
It's a little concerning, though, that there are 2 episodes missing. Like, I wonder if they've just been totally shelved by Fox, or if maybe they've been completely recut. Because now we've got people living in different places. That's a little tough to just, like, slide it in.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. I mean, my personal favorite way of how they could do that is you market it that way, and you're like, like Almost Human. This big thing just happened, but what about at the beginning? Like, let's go back to the beginning and discover things that you might have missed.
Get the Blu-ray special edition.
I mean, or like do it as like a 2-hour movie or something like that. Like, no one likes it when their show's being messed with.
Only on Blu-ray.
Well, I can't.
2 episodes.
I guess I can't imagine that you'd shelve 2 episodes when it's doing all right in the ratings. That's like 2 episodes worth of ad dollars that you're not going to get.
They get 5 to 6 million viewers every episode, just in the U.S., I think.
Well,
and I don't think that's counting like online views and things like that.
Yeah, that's why I think there's a good chance that stuff might have been reshot, recut, like to make it fit into this timeline. Like it could only take like a scene to just refix it.
That's true.
But there might be so much content too, based on so many ways the show could go with all the different factions and stuff, that they thought that this is just too much for what they already had committed to. If they had a whole separate plot about in Syndicate, that could be a whole other 13 episodes. So if they get renewed, they can use that as next season.
You're hitting on something that I think is very true, which is in the pilot, they unpack a lot of information. Right. It's a complicated premise. And what I think was very, very smart about how they've handled this release schedule is they brought it to basics and they made it entirely about Kennex and Dorian's relationship. So because they knew that until that was strengthened and solidified, we wouldn't really be able to care that much about, Anna, his ex-girlfriend, and her connections to In Syndicate and all this deeper world stuff. If you don't love the people, then who cares about the mythology?
There's something to that, because I remember watching episode 3, and that was the point where I'm like, okay, I'm sold just based on their banter alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Leave it to Fox to dumb it down. Well done.
Yes. We need to get you in touch with folks at Fox. They'd love you.
Hey, we'll have a good talk. No, but I agree with that. Like, I think they maybe saw there was too much information for people to digest in that quick a time. So they said, you know what, let's knock all this out of here. And stick to this basic plot. And like you said, you get the relationship, which there wasn't a lot of in this episode, which I just, that's the reason I dislike part of this episode is there was not enough with them hanging out, talking, having fun. because it was a more serious episode.
Well, we got that nice scene where Dorian was trying to convince Kennex to let him stay in his trophy room.
Well, we also 3 times all city though.
3 times all city. That doesn't happen. Okay, you go back to my high school. Who had the most quarterback passes or touchdowns or something? Who had the most footballs? Who had the most football in high school? I did. Kennex. Kennex had the most football.
They never said a sport. He just said he was fast. They never said that he.
He said touchdowns.
They said touchdowns.
I listened because I was like, wait, what sport is he talking about? They never referenced any sport. He said, go back in the gym. There's banners hanging. I was fast. They called me like white cheater.
White cheetah. Wakes him up. They call me white cheetah.
Never
because I
a
was so
sport
fast.
was referenced that he was 3 times all city in. So is it track? Is it football? Is it
I
basketball?
thought they said touchdowns.
I could have sworn they said touchdowns.
I would like to think it was track. I'm a big runner fan, so I'd like to think. I ran cross country in high school, so come on, Kennex, be a runner.
Can we call that an AfterBuzz TV exclusive? Megan ran cross country in high school. I'm getting a big fat no from our engineer, Stephen
well
Lemieux.
in high school.
I say
not,
it's an AfterBuzz TV exclusive. You know, I wish that they had moved in together. I thought that was going to be like a fun generator, and then after he and Stahl hook up, it would be like a fun, weird Three's Company in the future with robots.
The Odd Couple. That would be fantastic.
They could always still switch around roomies, but I'm looking forward to the Rudy Dorian stuff. Oh, also, what is Rudy talk? He's like, we'll go out and get women, but you can keep your women, and like. Does he mean they're gonna go pick up androids? Can Dorian hook up with real women? Is that what he
has the gift.
He does.
He has the gift.
Dorian-sized fun.
Yeah.
Actually, I was watching this episode.
All of our AfterBuzzes come back to that, by the way?
Why not?
Because when you're dealing with an issue of this size, it's impossible.
That level of magnitude,
yeah,
so to speak.
You can't look away from it. Like literally, you could just, it's in your field of vision.
It's too big. Yeah, no, and like looking at you, Zach, you're like what, 3 Dorians away from me right now, and it's a sizable issue.
That's right. I actually thought about you when that came on. I was like, oh, this is what Matt was talking. Yes, that's why I thought about
you
Matt.
You thought of me when they started talking about banging women?
No, when you were talking about a couple weeks ago how you want to see Dorian get a girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, they're gonna get Dorian a girlfriend. Like this is it. Like he's gonna go out and pick up women together.
I mean, I'm sorry. No woman would want to be with him if he brings her back to that dank hellhole filled with flat screens.
Till he takes his pants off.
I guess so. Really? You give us Oh Snap, but you won't give me an AfterBuzz TV exclusive on Megan's cross-country achievements?
Of which there are none.
All right.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. I give this like big old speech about how intelligent our show is, and now I'm just wiping my ass all over that speech. Anyone have something smart they want to talk about?
Well, no, you're right though. Honestly, if you go out and you get picked up by these 2 guys and they take you back to this kind of darkly lit, kind of sketchy looking lab,
it's damp in there.
It's disconcerting.
There's robot butterflies.
But think about the girls that they're gonna pick up. So.
No, I don't think that was very clear. Can you describe to me, Ryan, the types of women that they would pick up?
The types of women that would not care if they went back to a dark laboratory.
Ryan.
Yes.
Gross. And sad.
Says the Dorian-sized jokester.
I am a Dorian-sized jokester, but
it's true, you can't miss it.
Yeah, womp. But
womp womp.
But that might be Rudy, but Dorian is a pleasant conversationalist and a very, very nice dude. He just happens not to be real.
Well, maybe this might be an opportunity to bring back our friend from the episode, the Osmosis Girl.
Oh yeah,
you could pick her up at a bar.
Osmosis? You mean the
telekinesis? Whatever.
Yeah, she can. No,
cerebral girl.
Psychic.
Cerebellic.
The cerebellic.
Yeah. You knew what I meant.
Osmosis. I was like, oh man, Osmosis Jones, Chris Rock. We're gonna
I'm studying through this mug. Leave me alone.
Oh Lord.
How about no?
Hold on a second. I'm sorry, Steven. Did you record your own bits for the soundboard. That was our engineer's voice in a canned little sound bite. Do you have any other zingers on there you want to unload?
Our systems detect that a host has wandered off the subject. Please return to us.
We're gonna have a discussion. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try to bring us back.
Please do.
The black mark that we get into a discussion about in the little the second Scotch with a lady scene that Kennex has had this season.
Yeah. With Maldonado.
I really like that they brought up the black mark and the thing that he had been sort of he's seen as a bad guy in a lot of the Force. Like people look at him sideways and they don't know what he's up to. Because I feel like that's our first hint that we could be going back towards the original plot from the pilot.
And this is the first time I think that the raid has been brought up in a couple weeks. And it's something that, you know, you're right. We can't quite escape as viewers. We need to remember that his position in the department is shaky. People still don't necessarily trust him. He's a rogue. He doesn't really care about other people's rules. He's not really making friends.
And he's only there because of the captain's good graces.
Exactly.
Like, you know, if you hadn't ignored my psych evaluation.
There was a psych evaluation?
Yeah. You know, without Captain Maldonado, he wouldn't be there. Dorian wouldn't be there. So he's on thin ice. Hopefully we'll get some nice big successes on the in-syndicate front for our intrepid cops. All right, I think it's time we move it over to predictions. Oh, no.
Can I get a sound cue, please?
No, I think it's a sound. Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Oh, all right.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, so it looks like the next episode may be another flashback episode from what it looked like in the preview. I'm trying to remember.
I'm sorry, I missed the preview. Could you explain?
We got a little shot of Kennex just shooting an MX in the face because it talked back. It like snap about how it's better than the DRN, like it's more advanced, so I should be the one to help you out.
Right, and that to me, it felt like, okay, this could be episode 2 because it feels more like the relationship that they had in the pilot, and also it's the third MX that has been blown up this season. You know, in the car, Dorian's like, oh, you shot him because you like me. And he's like, I don't like you. And I feel like that's, okay, that must be an older episode.
It feels very, like, early. I hope this is episode 2, because I you know, if they keep pushing it back, that just makes me want to see it more. So I hope it's episode 2.
It should be a whole lot of fun. Everyone loves seeing MXs get blasted in the face, leaving a Dorian-sized hole.
Not quite a Dorian.
About a third of a Dorian size. Continues it.
Well, then we get, like, in our next episode of Almost Human Does Hollywood Blockbusters, it looks like we're going to get anger management.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to get Kennex in anger management. He'll probably get some kind of chip implanted that monitors his vitals, and it'll make him all crazy, and he'll fight everybody.
Is Dorian Jack Nicholson in this scenario?
And starring Jack Nicholson.
Ooze, Fraba, man.
Don't you want to see that happen?
I think it would be fun. I think it would be fun. Ryan Hooks, what are you thinking?
Dorian gets a girlfriend.
All right. I want to see Dorian get a girlfriend as much as anybody. I think it would be hilarious.
I think really what you want to see? Is that what you want to see? Dorian gets a girlfriend?
I would love to see a show where Dorian gets a girlfriend and we get to explore the implications of android-human relations, much like we did in the seminal film Bicentennial Man.
Well, also, just to go a little bit off topic, if anybody saw Her yet.
I really need to see Her.
That movie made me think about Almost Human a lot because of the idea of artificial intelligence. Is it really a person? Is it not? What rights do they have? What sort of relationships can they have? So if you haven't seen it, if you like Almost Human, and you like sort of more emotional Spike Jonze dramas, I highly recommend Her.
Okay, great. All right, I think that's going to be all for us this week. Big thanks to all of our listeners, all of our watchers. We do this show for you. We love you. Okay, Megan Salinas, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at TheMenguin. That's TheMenguin. And I'm also on the AfterBuzz of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Doctor Who, and coming up pretty soon, Sherlock.
Sherlock, yeah.
Well, all right.
Starting on the 19th. Ryan Hooks.
You can find me at RyanHooks92 on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Yahoo. Also, Revolution comes back on NBC tomorrow, so tune in for that.
Okay, sweet. Zach Wilson?
You can find me on Twitter at @ZachWilson, and you can also see me on the brand new Grimm after show, as well as coming up Helix and Archer.
Oh, nice. Ooh. And Grimm #3 today on the iTunes.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm really excited we're doing a podcast for that one.
Yeah. Actually, I did Mob City in December, too, so if anyone watched that, feel free to check out our Mob City podcast.
Okay, and you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. That's MattLieberman. Got a bunch of new shows launching this month. I have True Detective launching on Sunday, Helix with Zach Wilson, and Banshee launching on Monday. I got Cougar Town starting tonight, Sherlock, Lost Girl. I think we're going to do some more Doctor Who classics if you're into that.
Calm it down, Matt.
New shows starting all the time. So, hey, I'm not a show off. All right, I love you guys. Be well.
See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.